Williams, and good afternoon all. Today, for this National Emergency Operations Center's briefing, I want to highlight a number of things to the general public. One such is the quarantine. I have been asked about quarantine, affordable quarantine, and I just want to inform the general public that Ocean's Edge has been approved as a quarantine site with a flat baseline cost of $800 for the 14 days of quarantine. These are self-sustainable apartments, which includes the various amenities such as cable, internet, televisions. You have a stove, fridge, and a very comfortable environment for you to be in. I'm also understanding that it has washing machines and dryers that you can use to do your laundry. Equally so, we also should be adding shortly Koi Resort, and the Koi Resort should come on board shortly to provide quarantine services. Again, we are still in the negotiation phase of this, but my understanding is we are looking at ranges from $60 a night to approximately $90 a night, which should make it affordable for our nationals and residents alike to return to the Federation. Last time we were here, we notified you of the berthing, or safe harboring rather, of the Rhapsody of the Seas. And on the 11th of December, the Grand Day of the Seas came alongside the Port Zante at approximately 7:50 a.m. with 72 crew members on board. And I want to assure you, the general public, that the 22 points of terms and agreement in which this was facilitated are being adhered to, are being carried out. And I want to urge all stakeholders involved in this process to continue to adhere to such. This is in the best interest of the safety and security of our citizens. Now, one of the things I want to notify you of is that there will be crew changes. What does that mean? That all the necessary protocols that are applied to inbound travelers will be applied to those persons on the ship who may need to leave the ship to return to their homes, and those who are leaving their homes to return to the ship. And this is done in a very controlled measure. So therefore, when you see this, this is not that they're just coming off the ship haphazardly and interacting with our citizens. As I have said to you over and over, this is done through the corridor of containment. So right now, we have approximately 150 crew members docked between the two ships at the Port Zante Pier. There has been an increase in airlift into the Federation of St. Kitts and NEVIS. And the increase in airlift, we would see that as of the 19th of December, there will be scheduled flights on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And Saturdays, we will have an increase in the number of flights per day. There will be one AA flight out of Miami, and there will also be an AA flight out of Charlotte. With the increase of these flights, it means that we have to increase our attention, our awareness, as per our surroundings. Also, there will be an increase in the risk to the country for the importation of cases. However, as Dr. Lars has mentioned, we have been doing exceptionally well. We will also see that Liat will also be increasing their flights. They will be having 2 flights on Saturdays, weekly flights on Saturdays, one out of Barbados and one out of Antigua. The COVID-19 task force would have met on Tuesday, that would have been on Tuesday the 22nd, and the general membership of the team would have advised me as the chair to make the necessary recommendations to the Federal Cabinet of Ministers with reference to the travel advisory on the present situation as outlined by Dr. Laws in the United Kingdom. The recommendations have been adhered to, as Dr. Laws already mentioned. So we want to thank the Cabinet for their leadership and providing the necessary support to safeguard the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And this was done by studying the actions taken by over 30 countries around the world to mitigate against the spread of this new variant. I want to continue by making an appeal during this festive time to all, in particular, entertainers and party goers. This time of year is a festive time, and if you're going to be festive, please do so in moderation. Complying with the protocols is one such way in which we can do so. Remember, this is in the interest of all of us. The successes that we have gained in managing the COVID-19 pandemics thus far should not be celebrated with complacency. Even though we are seeing a drastic change in persons being more compliant, more can be done. So I want to urge you to continue to improve in the adherence of the protocols. Again, let us continue to fight as the finish line can be seen in the horizon. I want to take this opportunity to commend a number of businesses who would have done extremely well during the reduced VAT days or discounted VAT days, the 18th and 19th of December. I want to thank them for adhering to the call of enforcing the protocols and ensuring that they keep the employees safe, they keep the customers safe, and also the reputation of the establishment. Equally so, I want to highlight the good work that is being done by Customs and Excise along with CASPA in managing persons who need to go to the port and clear their goods that have been imported. I think the plan that was instituted by them has been working very well. But we must thank the people in particular for their cooperation and support thus far. So to you, the general public, and all these institutions, I say a job well done. Please note that today will be our final briefing for 2020. Approximately 11 to 12 months ago, we started with this epidemic being a challenge in Wuhan City, China, and then we saw how quickly it spread to the Caribbean region. To everyone who has been supporting and everyone who has also been providing the critique, constructive criticism, which is part and parcel of everything, I say thank you to you, to the medical professionals, to the security forces, to those working at our border, working on our borders, the security at our borders, CASPA, NASPA, and to everyone who has contributed for the entire year. I want to say thank you to you, just how I thank the National COVID-19 Task Force yesterday as we had our last meeting and yesterday. So thank you to the general public in St. Kitts and Nevis for helping us to achieve the status that Dr. Laws would have said we have achieved as being one of the lowest risk countries in this hemisphere. So I take this opportunity to say to you a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous and lovely 2021 when it comes. Please permit me to also reach out to my Latino community by saying to them Le deseo una feliz Navidad y yo espero que cuando entre el año nuevo, entre un año nuevo con mucho amor y que tengan un buen año nuevo. Así que feliz Navidades para todos en la comunidad latina y que Dios me lo bendiga.